All right, good afternoon, Coin Observatory. Good afternoon, world. Going live on Facebook as well. All right, we're live. So, thanks for tuning in today's live stream. As always, it's going to be a market update. I'm going to cover the Bitcoin chart. I'm going to cover the dominance chart. I'm going to cover some of the S&P 500 and some altcoins. Over the last few weeks, I've been mentioning that this is a good time to accumulate altcoin. This is a good time for altcoin accumulation, and we're starting to see the altcoin rally take place. Before I dive in, cover some of the calls we've made. We're up. Let me just refresh this puppy. So NANO's up 30%, Raven's up 12, THETA's up 5, Icon 4.1, VET, it kind of goes down a little bit. The only two in the negative are BAT and GRS. But they're likely to turn green at some point. We've been signaling very slow. We're kind of making sure we're getting really good picks, so we're not really, casting a wide net. I don't think we've been stopped out in any trades in the last week. Just trying to capture the gainers, right, before they really pop. I mean, up 30% in 6 days. That's pretty good. And I do believe this alt rally is going to continue, and my reasoning why is this head and shoulders formation on Bitcoin dominance, right? We do have a head and shoulders on dominance. We did get up and trying to retest this trend line right now, or this neckline. If this neckline can remain intact, then I expect altcoin rally to take place. I expect alts to keep moving to the upside, which is something that I've mentioned in previous streams. Over the past 2 weeks, I've been talking about market cycles and how I believe that alts are in accumulation period. But before we dive into alts and what is happening in altcoins, I want to cover the Bitcoin chart, what I'm seeing. I still see us coming down to retest this demand area, the 86.94, 84.80. These red arrows signal some of our last signals, actually. We've only had, I think, 4 or maybe 5 signals on Bitcoin in the last few weeks. We're just trading the big swings. We had a short up here in the 13K range. We had a long down here at 93. We had another short come in at 10.9 with a stop at 11.113. We got stopped out at entry here on this long, right? Right now, this head short should still be open. This long should not. It's kind of up to you guys what you want to do with it, but I did say trail your stop. Yeah, so as of now, we've only had 1, 2, 3, 4 signals since the 10th, which is pretty good, right? We don't want you guys, we don't want our VIPs getting chopped out and paying a whole lot in trading fees. It's really expensive. You start losing money hopping in and out of positions, trying to get in mid-move and such. The bullish case here, the bullish case I'm seeing right now is this hold at the 61.8, holding right now. The volume case for the bulls, I don't like it. We did see a big surge of volume here with no follow through. This rejected at a 1.2, right? Was our head short. Now I still think we want to head down. I want to see what happens at 86.94 to 84.80. That's my general consensus. But this zone has been really good for alts. I mean, throughout. From the low of 9K all the way up to 11, we saw alts react really well. So as long as we can range here without too many surges, I think this alt rally should continue. And then we got to keep an eye on that Bitcoin dominance chart, making sure that neckline does not break to the upside. Why do I want to see this zone fill? Well, we published on Medium, this was a few weeks ago, July 13th, about the case for diminishing demand. I'm seeing the S&P defy that head and shoulders, trying to move higher. And just how Bitcoin retraces, right? It always wants to come back and revisit those previous breakout formations to see if there is demand there. And I think that's what's going to happen. We're not seeing a big battle over 10K. We're not really seeing bulls try to fight 10K. I don't think it's a big psychological number at this point. We're not seeing a lot of folding under it, right? Chart's kind of testing it, moving around. But I do want to see an impulse move down. I think this would be my next long area unless we see a clear formation. And before I hop off the Bitcoin chart, I'm just going to pull it up on our screener for harmonics. And we do see a bullish bat starting to develop. With probably the entry zone is going to be at 94.98 if I wanted to take this long. And it's probably going to be just another little micro short squeeze on the way down. I'm not seeing a big bullish case here, especially with the lack of follow through. I mean, this was a really good long. We were up over 1,000% within minutes of taking this trade. But then the rejection here, the head short here, all right? So we hedged against it, and that's that. Anybody have any questions on BTC? If you like my analysis, smash that like button, drop us a comment. We kind of deserve it. Help those YouTube and Facebook algorithms give us a boost. I'm going to add an RSI, see if we're seeing any divergences. I haven't really looked at oscillators this week. We're seeing a failure swing here on the 30, which, let me check the hourly chart. I mean, we could see support here. As I told the VIPs, I'm not confident in taking a long right now, especially after my last long got stopped out in at entry. This head short's looking fairly good as of now. Unless we see another move back up, I mean, this could be setting up for another inverse head and shoulders for a move up. I just don't see a bullish formation. Not yet. Not yet. Limar, we'll get into alts shortly. We'll get into alts shortly. And I'm not seeing a bounce off that RSI resistance turning into support. We're not quite there yet. I do believe there's going to be another leg down. Interestingly, I'm digging alts right now. Alts are treating us really, really well. Trying to think. All right, so no questions about BTC. We can dive right into altcoins. In a short-term downtrend, but overall bull trend longer term. Hi, Delilah. I would say we are in a range until this range proves otherwise. I do believe in like the 4-year cycles of BTC, right? But I mean, last time I was streaming and you caught me and I said I want to see a retest down here. Volume's definitely dying off. I do think we're going to be in a long-term uptrend, right? And this is kind of a pullback. This is a pullback. I don't think we quite had euphoria just yet. I mean, we did see a blow-off top, and if this was a parabola, it could retrace like 68% or so. So it's in terms of the trend, right? I want to see what happens at 86 and 84. I still expect to visit down to these lows. I'm not being bearish. I'm just trading what the charts are telling me. And there's two 1.2s here. So I expect wicks in this range. Plus, it's a retest of this previous zone, previous consolidation area / pennant or breakout formation, if you want to call it that. All right, going over some altcoins. It's kind of looking at ZRX. It's looking interesting. Going over a PPT. What's going on, Abdul? Smash that like button. All right, PPT looks good. This looks good. It's doing a bull flag. I would take this. Volume's at 59. We're seeing these coins start to break out on lower volume, right? And what I would do with this trade, it's going to break out. And it's going to bounce off that 7826. Sorry, I'm stuttering today. So this thing's going to want to do Give me a brush. It's likely going to do something like this and then come back down and then take off, right? Either that or like a further out 1.2. That's just what everything's been doing. Unless this was the 1.2 move. All right, this is the 1.2 move off this breakout. So, I mean, this might be clear for takeoff. I like it. I like it. There's also this ascending triangle. It broke out. It's currently retesting. I don't know if it broke out already, but this looks bullish, right? This looks bullish in terms of what other alts are doing. We might kind of go sideways a bit before we break. But things have been breaking on low volume, right? I mean, 59 BTC is moving this. Yeah, no, this looks good. This looks good. What would my targets be on this pup? Right, I mean, probably that 8,500 range. I'm just going to go ahead and drop some price tags. We can come back and revisit at some point. T2, T3. We haven't seen anything really like completely shatter previous ranges, right? So we want to see what happens with these. So I'm actually profit taking my targets on Nano. I'm profit taking on Theta. I'm profit taking every time we hit a target. Just because. One of the things I'm not profit taking is stuff like Zcoin. Bad Ether, Chainlink, PPT. All right, you guys on YouTube are hitting me with some pretty good suggestions. XZC. I'm actually was talking to Chads, and I'm buying a lot of Zcoin right now. I want to get back to having several nodes of this. I'm seeing an inverse head and shoulders here, broke out, retested, ready for more upside volatility. It's coming. Last time this thing moved, it made 100% plus, and then some, 104%. Yeah, I think Zcoin's staging up for a good move. Have our MAs flipped on the daily? MAs have not completely flipped on the daily, not just yet, but fundamentally, this thing's looking strong, and it's definitely one of my favorite master nodes. I do have a bullish bias on this coin just because it's made me fortunes in the past. All right, BNB. I'm going to kind of flip back and forth on altcoin suggestions from YouTube to Facebook. What's going on the daily? All right, so when we were back here a few weeks ago, I said this is probably a really good point to hop into BNB. And since then, it's proved to be right. All right, I mean, we did see that moving average act as support. It's acted as support before. What's going to happen now? RSI. Let's start with the daily and work my way in. It looks like we're trying to find support, right, on RSI. So our momentum oscillator is trying to find support here. If we can't find support here, I expect a further up move out of BNB. And if we don't find support here, probably going to come back down and revisit that 0.0024. Going into the 4 hour. Not sure if I see a formation here. All right. Maybe an inverse head and shoulders. A lot of alts are doing this. I'm going to go ahead and draw it out. We can call it an inverse head and shoulders, or we can just say it's not, right? But if this was a shoulder and this is the head, this was the other shoulder. I mean, I'm seeing this on a lot of alts, right? I'm seeing this bottom formation on a lot of alts, and I'd want this to kind of continue moving up. It's acted as a hedge, so if you see BTC come down, it's going to be interesting. More interestingly, Ether BTC is looking fairly good. I started scaling back into ETH over here. 4-hour moving average is cleared. It's done that liquidity grab below yearly support. I did say when we're getting to this zone, if you don't turn up, we're going to come down for a big liquidity grab. That's the daily chart. It's trying to close above previous range. The 4-hour, I'm seeing a pennant develop, and I don't know if I'd call that a bottom, or it's not quite the inverse head and shoulders, but it's doing a formation that we've seen before in crypto. Like this looks like BTC and BTC USD back in like February, March. So I want to see this pennant continue up with a big move to 0.0236 and see what happens next, right? I want to see that 8% bump up. All right, going over MCO, Bitcoin Diamond, ADA, Monaco. I do not currently hold any MCO. It did do a nice move up. Let's look at the daily. It's got some pretty good volume. It's got good volume. There's a couple of bullish divergences here. Definitely finding RSI support. I'd want to see what happens when RSI comes back down for a revisit. And we're definitely seeing a divergence, a trend divergence, not just like 1, 2, 3, or 4 divergences, but the actual trend is changing. Going into the 4-hour chart. Is there a wedge? I don't like it. Might like it now. I like it now. This is a wedge retest. So make some notes. PPT and MCO look pretty good. All right, so this is a wedge retest, and that volume on that breakout, on the initial breakout, this confirms that this was a falling wedge because it broke on good volume. All right, now you're seeing this retest, and this should be the zone to start looking for longs. If you wanted to trade this off fibs, I mean 61.8 looks really good right now, right? This is the golden ratio. And this would be the entry. This would be the entry with a stop below that last wick. So MCO's looking, for me, it's looking like a low risk, high probability trade at this moment. What's it doing? It is in our momentum zone, right? It is in our momentum zone. It's try to break through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th time. It actually did it. Now it's going to consolidate here and hopefully continue more to the upside. I'm not going to say it's looking like NANO. I want to pull up NANO just a bit and see what happens. What's going on, Troy? Morning. Nice. We'll check that. I'll take a look at that. Aggie. So MCO's looking like NANO did back here. This is our top gaining signal right now, right? Where it broke out, came back and retested after testing that momentum zone. I'm going to put everybody else's requests on hold because Troy's in the house. We're going to check on Aggie. Look at that. That looks good. Once again, I'm going to pick this swing low, and we can go off wicks. It is in the golden pocket. So, I mean, it's looking like Altseason just started. Back, if you guys remember, this is Aggie BNB. Let me check Aggie BTC. You guys remember over the last 2 weeks, I said there's going to be a 7 to 24 day accumulation window on these alts before they start staging reversal formations and starting making those big moves. Aggie's looking pretty strong, and it's probably doing. It's at a 38.2 off that wick, but this is looking like another good entry, good stop. Man, this power hour, this market update, this live stream should hit you guys some good hints at good moves, because this is it's actually 3 different alts that I've covered that are moving in unison, that are actually trying to reverse and move up to the upside. Aggie currently is above our momentum zone. Look at that. That looks beautiful. All right. I'm going to go ahead and cover. All right. What do we got? QM, EOS. I actually didn't cover Bitcoin Diamond via ADA, CND. CND just signaled its indicator today. That chart's looking pretty good. All right, so let me cover BCD. I would not want to trade something like Bitcoin Diamond. I think that's what this is. Yeah. It's doing a little bit of an ascending triangle. I don't even know why this thing exists. I have no idea why this fork exists. There's going to be one Bitcoin and one Bitcoin only, and that's actual Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Satoshi Diamond, they're all not going to make it. Or none of them are going to make it, in my opinion. I have not covered ICX yet. We'll get there. But anyway, so this is just doing a ascending triangle bottom. It's likely going to pop. I don't see a reason for me to own any Bitcoin Diamond. All right, going over via volume's dead. It's trading on 6 BTC. Vaya's been really like a pump and dump coin, especially recently. It's just been like pumpy dumpy. Yeah, I don't like it. ADA. I have not held an ADA bag in some time. I think I got to stop that back here, and have not looked back at ADA. Looking at the hourly chart, what are we seeing? We're seeing that unison inverse head and shoulder, just looking like a lot of other coins, except for ADA's actually got some good volume on it. And if this starts firing, it's going to squeeze out a lot of shorts. It's going to bleed them. There's people probably still shorting alts, right? As we know. And ADA's traded on BitMEX. So, my bullish target here, ADA looks like it's trying to break. Let's make sure and we measure our down from our head down. So, the head and shoulders target's 11%. So, I mean, if somebody longs us on cross, it could essentially make 1,000% on ADA. You just want a good entry, and it's looking like it's close. It's looking like it's close. Any divergences here? Not on the 4-hour. On the hourly, not on the hourly. This higher high is still the highest, and it's in the momentum zone. I like it. If I covered your alt, smash that like button. I do think, no, Van, I think this is early alt season. I think alts are going to pump really hard out of nowhere, out of the blue, especially when like they get done with their accumulation periods. Going over syndicator. I signaled CND today. Boom. I mean, there's your entry, there's your stop, and there's our targets. It's back in the momentum zone. It's still a little bull flag. This thing likes to move on very low volume. We're ran on a 5% stop loss and just trading this bull flag. The 4-hour moving averages have broke, and it's starting to stage. This is looking like an ascending triangle on the 4-hour. I just want to see this push come in and move it up. I was actually looking at Qtum. I was looking at Qtum for a signal, and I didn't pull the trigger. I actually have it all drawn out. I do think it's going to pull back before it takes off. Because of this RSI, right? I was actually drafted it up. It just didn't fire away. I think it's going to come back down to like 30. It's going to stop me out if I get in here. So instead, I'm going to put an alert for my stop. So we get in at a lower price. So we did see RSI make that 3 higher lows. So RSI divergence on the hourly is actually causing a pullback. I saw this on Raven the other day, and that's why I still haven't pulled the trigger on Qtum. These guys have like a Microsoft partnership, right? I mean, there's quite a bit happening on this token. I expect a light pullback before it take off. Once again, smash that like button, guys. Help us out. YouTube doesn't really favor us, even though we do provide really awesome TA, and neither does Facebook. So smash that like button or drop us a comment. It'll help the channel. Going over ICX. I've got an open signal on Icon. I do have a pretty good bag right now. It is starting to stage, right? By stage, I mean it's making this trade. It's actually trying to break out. I want to see what happens here. I want to see this thing make a little push. Think our we're up 4% on it. All right, in like 8 days. So going back to the icon chart. The hourly starting to curve, right? Or sorry, the 4-hour is moving averages on the 4-hour look uppy, look to the upside. I don't see a divergence here yet. Volume's rising. It's at 160. I think we're gonna see icon make that the next move up, or next day or two. All right, going over EOS. Guys, if I covered your altcoin and you like my analysis, smash that like button. If I covered your altcoin, didn't like my analysis, smash that like button. I'm telling you what I see, not what you want to hear. All right. What's going on here? This looks good. This looks good. It found resistance on the hourly. It's moving average resistance. Last time it did this, just going to zoom in here. Last time we did this on the hourly, well, it didn't find resistance. It shot right through. Now we're back at the same cyclical issue here. Is there a divergence? There was a little bit of a divergence. Now we're going to see this thing pull back. If this is a 1.2, I can tell you exactly where it's going to retrace to for the buy-in. This is a 1.6, so it's not. All right, where's this going to turn? I don't know. I'd say it's bullish though, right? But once again, this is a shorted token. It's traded on BitMEX, so we can short it. You can short it. Remove all drawing tools. Do I see a neckline? I guess we can see a neckline here, right? So we got a shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder broke up. You get a measurement. 15% move. Did we get a 15% up move? We got, yeah. So it hit that inverse head and shoulders target, right? So I'd look for another bullish consolidation. This last one failed. Definitely broke down at the apex. So I'd look for it to maybe get above this area for a long. So close above 46,000 sats. All right, going over ETH. I mentioned this earlier. I'm scaling back into ETH BTC. I covered Ether just a little while ago. I'm scaling back into ETH BTC. I want to see this 8% move develop. I think it's ready for that post liquidity grab upwards move. Let me check on ETH USD. So we're seeing last support act as resistance, right? And I mean, I don't want to call this a bear flag, nor an ascending triangle. So let's stick to trend lines. All right, so $234 is resistance. Here we've got an ascending trend line on ETH USD. All right, you got a higher low. I'm gonna run it up on. So if this thing consolidates and breaks up like an ascending triangle would or should, you're gonna see ETH BTC really take off, right? Harmonic patterns on a harmonic screener. Right, so we could potentially go up to that 0.031, which would be the last target. So we're looking at a few 0.024, 0.027, and 0.031 for the targets on ETH BTC if the breakout continues. Right. I think how far do you think ICX can go? So based on what other altcoins have done, which like Walton, like what's Walton doing? Right. So I mean, I'd expect things to cycle, and Walton went from the swing low to like that previous we're gonna go candle wax, right? So alts kind of move in unison or in like a laggy manner. So if we go to Icon, I'm not your price prediction. Oh, it's going to X amount of dollars. And I'm going to tell you what I see on the chart, right? And that's just how I trade. I mean, so we could potentially see a move back to this previous high before a sell-off. So if it does go, it's a full 100% from 27 to 48 or almost. So if it does make that leg up, I'm sure to get the heck out of my position over here for a retrace. Like all out, and then end up coming back in. Going over BAT. BAT has not moved just yet, so it's still in that accumulation For me, it's in my accumulation zone. It's definitely looking like it's getting ready for a move. Look at this daily chart. Price is in between the moving averages. The 4-hour chart is doing a wedge, a flag. I mean, I don't even know what BAT's doing. Broke this downtrend. Now it's moving averages look good. It's just going sideways for now. But I think this one's indefinitely the accumulation period, right? Because when it starts hitting these lows, these yearly lows, I want to go over the Bittrex chart because it's just been there for a lot longer. I'm going to close that. All right, so when BAT starts doing this, breaks out, comes back down, this is accumulation in my opinion. Because once moving averages fold and price goes above, that's when BAT starts running. Right, so you compare, make sure you guys can see this. You can, like this area right here to this previous area and this previous area, right? This one's our market cycler. This thing just keeps cycling on and off, bull and bear, bull and bear. This is like the best barometer for alts. I'm going to go over Raven. Bagging a lot of Raven. I think Raven's going to be... The reason is, I mean, if you saw Verge make 5,000% 2017, I do have a big bet going on Raven making a pretty big upwards move. We signaled this on this flag on the daily. We're up some 15% on this trade. And we're only at our target 1. All right, I signaled this pennant. We broke out to 1.2 and rejected. All right, we rejected this 1.2, came back to the 1. I added to this trade, and I'm still adding to this trade. If this is a descending wedge or another flag, I think it's just going to set up for another nice up move. So there's two ways to look at this, in my opinion. Maybe I just have a bias towards this coin because it's... This could be either a descending broadening wedge, right? A DBW to 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth touch, probably come back down for shoot up. But if we take out this resistance, I expect to move up to 582 and 681. You guys, thanks for keeping the alts coming. Smash the like button. The more you smash it, the more YouTube will share it. Same thing with Facebook. Help us out. Poly. I saw something about their not doing good. The whole company's not doing good at the moment. Trying to get a volume reading. 15 Bitcoin, not doing good in terms of volume. Moving averages are to the upside, right? I think this is altcoin accumulation. We did see a big volume spike back here. I haven't checked on the FA on Poly in a while. If whoever requested Poly Lemar, if you requested Poly, share some good FA. If you got it. I can't even draw trend lines because these wicks are pretty bad. I'm not even going to try. Remove all drawing tools. The hourly chart's in the momentum zone. It's looking like it's ready to break up. I just don't like the volume on it. It's probably going to pump, right? I mean, with the head and shoulders you're seeing on Bitcoin dominance, I think alts are going to move pretty violently. Going over Komodo. I'm going to do one last round of requests. So you guys drop those requests. I'll make sure to a bit more volume. There's a clear channel. It's doing this like possible. No, I'm not going to call that a head. But there's like a shoulder, head, possible other extended shoulder. But the chart looks bullish. If I was going to take this trade, I would go in at probably here with a stop at 11,505, just because the market's at like a pivot point where momentum's going to go into alt. And I would look to like take profit at these would be my targets, right? And we're likely going to get shut down right at 17K. All right, fam bam. Thank you for tuning into the stream. I hope I covered your alts. Smash that like button, click share, show this video to your friends. Make sure to click that link and hop in on Discord. I really do think that alts will continue to make those upwards moves. Trade carefully, trail your stops, always profit take, and happy gaining. All right, be careful out there. Don't overtrade and don't trade positions don't trade more than you can lose or more than you can afford to lose. Once again, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll catch you on Discord.